Cheryl, has 18 large silver paper clips, 11 large colored paper clips, 3 small silver paper clips, and 19 small colored paper clips in her desk drawer. I don't know about you, but as I read that, I'm overwhelmed by about the third number. Okay? I've lost track of what it is that we've got, but there's too much information. This is the list. There's a list of a whole bunch of things and how many we have of them. It's important that we see what's coming. It says given that. When we see the word given that, that means instead of saying I have, what is it, 30 some odd paper clips here, there's 30, 40, there's 51 paper clips total. Okay? And if we asked a question about how many of these paper clips are silver, that would be count the number of silver ones out of the 51. Well, that's not what it's about. When we see the word given that, or words given that, she reaches in to grab a small paper clip. If we know that she's grabbed a small, and you can reach into a bag and close your eyes and you know you got a small paper clip because it feels smaller than the bigger ones. Okay? What we've established is the denominator is going to be all of the small paper clips. However many there are, all of the small go on the bottom. So if we look at small, we got large and large, there's 3 and 19. So there's a total of 22 small paper clips. Okay? Now, of those small paper clips, what's the probability that it's silver? Now we can go through, and if we're not paying attention, we might just count up all the silver ones. But we don't want all the silver ones, because it says there's 18 large silver paper clips, but why would I include 18 when I only want the small ones? Or when I know I've got a small one. So these, even though these are silver, that's not what I'm doing. So the numerator is going to be not only small, but also silver. Okay? So if we know it's a small one, what's the probability it's silver? Look at all the small silver ones. There's only 3 of those. And so that doesn't reduce, and that's basically your answer. So whenever you're given a given that, or knowing that, or if I already knew that this was going to be something that I had, that's going to be your denominator. And by the way, in this case here, it took the 3 and the 19 to give me the 22. If you're adding 2 numbers together to get the denominator, one of those 2 numbers is going to be your numerator. So if you kind of know that going in, it's pretty easy. You say, okay, I got the 3 and the 19, that's all the small ones. And of those, how many of those were silver? Well, only these 3. Okay? And by the way, so that means this is your tree diagram and this is your list. And this one says, if Woodhouse goes on vacation in the Everglades, the probability he gets mauled by an alligator is 10%. Probability he gets bitten by a malaria-infected mosquito is 80%. And think about this, it's not a split. He's not choosing between getting mauled by an alligator or bit by a mosquito. Both of those things could happen, or neither could happen. In that case there, it's not a tree diagram. You're not choosing between one or the other. You're looking at all the different ways that you can combine those 2 things together on vacation and pay extra. Okay, so this is the area model, AM, or just area if you want to call it the area. And so this over here, this is the alligator section. This up here would be the mosquito section. Okay, so if it's an alligator, you've got the mauled and mauled not. Okay, the mosquito, you can get bitten or bitten not. Okay. So the probability of getting mauled by an alligator is 0.1, meaning the avoidance of maulaginess is 0.9. Together these equal 100%. Bitten, chance of getting bitten is pretty good actually. Not that that's a good thing, but it's very likely is going to be bitten, 80% chance, with only 20% chance of it not happening. What's the probability the Woodhouse avoids both of these things? So it's overkill to have this. Some of you are going to be able to read those and know that you're simply looking at the complement to each of these. But it's easier to see when you see bitten not, mauled not. You're looking basically for that zone right there. Multiply the 0.2 times the 0.9, you get a 0.18. You have an 18% chance. And again, I'm okay with an 18 or an 18% or a 0.18. Either one of those is fine.